Have you ever worked somewhere and your life was threatened? Me too. Me too. Oh! Hi. Yeah, you just want to be in it? You want to be in the video? You said this is my video. Also, before anyone asks, Scooby is okay. He's at the dog park for an event we're having. Hello friends, how are you all doing? Welcome to this video. If you guys are new, welcome in. My name is Ashton. If you guys are not, welcome back. For those that may not know, I worked at a retail store for a little over 10 years. I started right when I was 16 years old. It was my first government job, if you will. And I worked there again for just a little over 10 years. I quit December of 2023. Now, this has nothing to do with that company in particular that I worked for. You know, this is nothing against them or anything, but I wanted to share some of the horror stories, I guess you could say, from my time working at Michael's, the arts and crafts store. So I will quickly say I enjoyed my time there. I had great work colleagues. I had an amazing manager. Again, nothing bad to say about the company in particular. So since it was my first corporate job, because before then I had been like nannying kids, watching kids, babysitting, whatever. So I had been working before that. But I was, again, at the ripe age of 16. So the world was still brand new to me, and especially having that type of responsibility. I gained a lot of experience through that, especially socially. I was in heart failure for a little bit of my time there at one point. So I watched a lot of the changes throughout the store and watched a lot of people come in and go. So I've had a good chunk of time there, good chunk of experiences in retail. Now, there probably is a lot of experiences that maybe I didn't gain working at this particular type of store rather than, like, say, a Walmart or something, or Target, but still, 10 years, I gained a lot. Actually, Target was right next to us, fun fact. So when I thought about doing this video, the first one that came to my mind to talk about is actually one that happened pretty early in me working there. I'd say probably the first 3 years of me working there. And so I was cashiering at the moment. I remember I was on register 2. Yeah, I was on register 2. And it was these two older ladies, I'd guess in their 70s, maybe early 80s. And only one of them was buying something, but she was getting an apothecary jar. And this particular one did not have a sticker on it, so I couldn't just scan it. So I needed what is called a SKU number, which is the number on a barcode. I asked for that, and the person that was gonna get that for me, they usually would like come up so they can see us, and we would hold up the object so they know what they're looking for. And for apothecary, they wanted to see the exact one I was asking for, because we had a handful of different designs and shapes and sizes of apothecary jars. And the lady that wasn't buying something was very sweet. It was very nice. But the lady that was buying the apothecary jar, she already was like telling me, like, that's the last one. I don't know what you're gonna do, blah, 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 but I really need it. That's something that irked me about working retail, period, is wow, people get insane about stuff. Okay, and my thing is, there is literally nothing in Michael's that you need to survive. Everything in Michael's is a want. Even if it's to fix something, it's to fix a want. You know, I'm like, there's nothing in Michael's you need to survive. And people go insane about stuff. I hate the word stuff, because that's all people wanted. They needed their stuff. They were gonna die if they didn't get this or that. I know, me too, Glacier. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get a SKU number. And, you know, the lady just kept, I don't know what you're gonna do, it's the last one, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, they'll figure it out. Like, my managers will figure it out. Since it was the last one, she was like, you better be super careful with that, blah, blah, blah. I really need it, this and that. So I had to hold up this apothecary jar because I couldn't see it without me holding it up. And so I took the lid off and held it up. Wow, you just really want to be in this video, huh? My arm's okay. You don't need to lick it better. My arm is okay. Yeah, there's no owies on my arm right now. It's okay. You don't need to lick it better. So I lift up this apothecary jar because they're asking me, can you lift it up? I can't see it. I don't know which one I'm going for. And I lift it up, and the lady that is purchasing it goes, if you drop that, I will unalive you. I just put that apothecary jar down ever so slowly, put it back on the counter, and just was like, I'm not touching that thing again. Like, you're really that desperate for an apothecary jar? So that was the first one that came into my head. Overall, nothing really escalated from that, but it was just the comment and how serious of a tone she had. It wasn't like, ha 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 ha. Like, she needed that apothecary jar, or her life depended on it, apparently. Another one I had was also while I was cashiering. This was a few years later, and this one was actually more during the day. It was a little busier. I was again on register too for this one as well, but we had a little bit of a line, and I want to say we had 2 or 3 of us cashiering at the time. In total, there were 5 registers. And anyway, this lady came up and just started going off, and she's like, I need my glue, you guys are out of my glue, I don't understand why you don't have my glue. Particular brand of glue she wanted, basically. She's like, when are you gonna get back in? I need it, and I have to just go with this one, I guess. And I just hurry and ring her up. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do anything about that for you. Like, tough luck. Come back next week, I guess. Anyway, she starts going off about how you don't want to lose my business. I help keep this business up and going because I always need my glue, my blah, blah, blah. And she's starts basically flaunting that she's rich. She's like, I am so well off. I have so much money. I don't have to worry about stuff. I don't have to. And I'm like, well, then why are we worried about this glue? If you don't have to worry about stuff, I'm sure you could order it online and get it within the hour then if you're made of money, apparently. And then she goes on about, you know how I have so much money? It's because I paid off my mortgage. I paid it right off. That's how I did it. Blah, blah, blah. I don't buy crap from Walmart. I don't buy stupid blah, blah. And I just, like, I finished the transaction. Like, we finished it, and she's just sitting there going off on me still. And I was just like, can I help the next person? Bye. Bye. And she just would not go. And I just had to stand there and listen to her go off. And my managers were like, what is going on? And I'm like, I eyed one of the other cashiers because I'm like, I can't say anything. Like, it was one of those, if I move or do something, it's going to escalate her further. And so actually what we did, so we had 2 ways we could do our radios, our little radios to each other. We had a button with the microphone like right here where you could had a clip, or down on the actual radio system, there was a little button. And so I just had my hand down here and held the button down, and I was like, they can sit and listen to what's happening right now. So that one was fun, you know. Glue, of all things. Glue apparently was gonna get us to go out of business if we didn't get her glue again. Another small one is when I was not on the register, I believe this was a Saturday. I had come in about early-ish afternoon, and we had a classroom where sometimes we would have classes there. That's where people booked birthday parties there. We'd have them in there. And now you guys get to listen to Crinkle Crunch as Glacier chomps on a bottle. I had walked in, and this guy had walked in around the same time I did, but you know, I went and clocked in and everything. I did my thing, and then I came out, and I was like in the classroom but very close to the door, and that guy like found me again, and he comes up to me. He's a little bit taller than me, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, excuse me, what color are my eyes?" And he just like stares at me, and I was like, brown. They were very, very black, like he was on something. But and then he walked away, and the store manager, she's amazing, she like ran to me. She's like, "What was that? What is going on? Are you okay?" And I was like, he asked me what color his eyes were. I was like, I don't know. That was weird. Another really weird interaction I had was when another time I was up at the register. I don't know if I was actually working register or if I was just up there, but for the longest time I dealt with really bad acne. This past year I was able to do Accutane and just finally get it taken care of. But anyway, I had a bunch of people sit and kind of make comments here and there on my acne because it was pretty bad, and you know, certain times it was worse than others. But anyway, I had this one lady. She was probably 50s, 60s ish, and she like comes up to me and is all talking to me, whatever. Anyway, she's telling me like, oh, you know, are you doing anything about the acne, blah blah blah. Anyway, she's like, well, you know what really worked for my son? And she was like deadpan, dead serious, and she's like, it cleared him right up. And I was like, oh. And he's like, yeah, you pee in a cup, you urinate in a cup, and then you put your own urine on your face, you know, just like you would like a face wash or something. And she's like, I swear by it, cleared him right up, blah blah blah. And I was like, no thanks, I'm not gonna do that. No, why? I didn't even ask you for some tips, first of all. But no thank you, I'm not gonna pee on my face. So another story, actually this doesn't have to do necessarily with a customer, and again, this isn't me talking about the company directly or anything, but for some odd years after COVID had hit, I was working early mornings before the store had opened, and there was one time we had these really tall ladders because we had stock of stuff like on the walls really up high, you know, just if we had extra of certain things, whatever, which one of those were like frames and shadow boxes. We had a bunch of those just up on the high walls, what we call them. And I was doing what's called the pull list. We would call it the pull list, which is basically like down stocking the stuff that got purchased the day before. So if we had more, anything that got purchased the day, well, not everything, but you know, certain things that got purchased the day before, we would down stock it. But anyway, so I was in the frame section, which for us was the like back right corner ish. It kind of extended outwards more too, but anyway, so no one else was really in the store, meaning there were no customers. There was obviously a few workers in there, and I was just doing my thing and whatever. and I had to move one of the really, really, really tall ladders a little bit, and I had pushed it and whatever, and then I literally just start walking away, and all of a sudden the loudest crash, and I just look over, and one of the shadow boxes that was up on the high wall just came tumbling down. I'm like, glad I didn't get hurt, glad no one else got hurt, but also, what the frick? Like, that was creepy, that was scary. No thank you, no thank you. But those are some stories from my time working retail. Again, I have like an infinite number of stories I could share, so if you guys are interested in hearing more stories of my time working retail for over 10 years, let me know in the comments down below. If you guys have any horror stories, I would love to hear in the comments below what you guys have experienced, because man, working retail is not for the faint of heart. It really is not. Yeah, sure, it really isn't. But that's gonna do it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you liked it, hit the like button. It helps me out so much. If you guys are new, press the subscribe so that you don't miss out on future content. And until the next one, I'll catch you in the next one.